Detroit, December 31st, 1900. Honorable William C. Maybury, my dear sir, you invite me to indulge in a prophecy for Detroit. You invite me to indulge in a prophecy for Detroit as a metropolis. By metropolis you mean, I presume, a chief or leading city, to which all others for a long distance around will be more or less subordinate and tributary. I fully believe in such a distinction for Detroit in the century upon which we are entering. I base my belief upon certain historical precedents and upon peculiar advantages which the location possesses favorable to a great concentration of population. When, in the 17th century, the famous French explorers La Salle, Tonty, Hennepin, Duluth, Cadillac, and others penetrated to every part of the wild Northwest, they shrewdly hit upon the Detroit River as the most peculiarly advantageous point for the location of a colony with view to French domination of the entire region. It had previously been the favored gathering place of the Indians, and Cadillac found no difficulty immediately upon his founding the post of Detroit in collecting around it a native population which made it at once one of the most populous cities on the continent. I have no doubt that the same influences still govern, and that the vicinity of the Detroit River possesses at once strategic advantages for the domination of a wide extent of country, and also attractions for the concentrating of a vast population. I believe in no other in the entire country are greater advantages for homes offered. The climate in winter is far less bleak than that of Chicago, Milwaukee, Cleveland, or Buffalo, owing to our remoteness from the great ice fields which cover the larger lakes and chill the breezes which sweep over them. In summer, there are few cities which enjoy such advantages for boating, yachting, extended excursions by water, fishing, and hunting. The sources of amusement are unsurpassed. With adequate drainage and abundance of pure water, there could be no healthier city than Detroit. The locality which possesses such natural advantages for homes must ultimately attract a great population. No other city on the whole chain of lakes enjoys so perfect a harbor as Detroit. Never exposed to storms from any quarter, with a practically unvarying depth of water, and depth sufficient for the largest vessels, and with a shoreline for wharves and docks sufficient for all the commerce of the world, superior commercial advantages would be possible. With the experience of Manchester, an inland city, being made a seaport by means of a ship canal, and with the certainty of a system of ship canals of the largest size being constructed in the near future, connecting the Great Lakes with the Atlantic, there can be no doubt that a few decades will see ocean vessels loading and unloading at our wharves. Detroit will become as distinctively a seaport as Boston or Philadelphia. Detroit's decennial increase of population for the past 40 years has averaged nearly 60%. At this opening of the 20th century, it is without doubt growing faster than ever before. Suppose for the next 50 years the decennial increase to be but half what it has been in the past 40 years, and we shall have in 1950 a population of 1,077,000 souls. Having this ration again for the second half of the century, and we shall have in the year AD 2000 a population of over 2 million, a larger population than any American city has today, except the consolidation known as Greater New York. I think it far more likely that the population of AD 2000 will be greater rather than less than this estimate, and if no war, pestilence, or other destructive influence intervenes, I think it not improbable that the ration of 30% decennially will be kept up through the century, in which case Detroit will enjoy a population of fully 4 million. With all the civilized world open to him, the Emperor Constantine the Great in AD 324 chose as a site for the capital of the Roman Empire a precisely analogous location on the banks of the Bosphorus. The advantage of location enjoyed by the city of Constantinople has been universally conceded, and yet the Black Sea of which it forms the key can never for a moment compare in its commercial possibilities with the Great Lakes Superior, Michigan, and Huron, with their rich mines of iron and copper, their vast tracts of valuable timber, and their numerous natural outlets for the grain crops of the richest and most productive country upon earth. If a great metropolis were possible at Constantinople, how much more so at Detroit? I prophesy that a century hence, the belt embraced between the 38th and 43rd degrees of north latitude, and extending from the Atlantic seaboard to the Mississippi, will be the most densely populated region in the world. Very sincerely yours, James E. Scripps.